Hi guys again, it's Jules coming back in again and for my second reviewing video. But this time it's not going to be a total game review itself. I promised you guys a video on what I was going to do with Pokemon, and I'm going to deliver. Instead of lie, like some YouTubers have. Anyhow, my latest plan to do with Pokemon is to get back into the competitive scene, and I've had a couple issues here and there developing a couple different teams depending on the tiers I'm going to be fighting in. First team I wanted to do up was a sunny day weather team. And a lot of people say, oh, well, rain is the better weather choice. I keep telling them, no, sunny day is a little bit easier to work with if you're new to the competitive scene, because there's a lot of Pokemon that can learn sunny day, and most of them benefit from it. So, there's that already. The team's going to consist of mostly grass types and fire types. There will be a grass and water type in the mix, so don't worry about me having trouble with fire types that come with my grass types. That will be covered. Now, I'm going to go through my PC box and explain to you the few Pokemon that I've decided to choose for a test run to see which team will fit my strategies the best. Now, as a lot of my friends know, I tend to be one who likes a lot of speed on my team. Hence the reason there is going to be a Leafeon on the team. Now, this is a little difficult to train up because of the fact that you have to evolve it with a very specific place and whatnot. So I've decided to go along with also training a few other types. I'll be training for a Ludicolo. I have not decided the move pool yet, but there will be a good mixture between both water and grass type moves, solely because it will benefit either way. The water type moves are just a cover up for any weaknesses that might come its way. And I'm also going to do some specialty breeding for a proper Vulpix in honor of one of the YouTubers who actually inspired me to get back into the competitive scene, Silver August. So, thank you, man, for being one of the few people who agreed with me on the Weather Wars and stating that, yes, Politoed did fucking ruin it. And I apologize for my language in that, but I mean it. He really did ruin the weather or scene that came on. And I did go in for like a couple good rounds for tournaments, and then I just quit because I was so fed up. I wanted a good, clean, fair fight. None of this really complex strategy that literally nobody could get around. When I think of a battle, I think of something good, fair, and equal. Hence the reason I'm happy that Smogon kind of banned swag play. Terra Flinch is something you can avoid if you have the right strategy to avoid it. Something like swag play is unavoidable. Same as the Hypnosis and Perish Song thing. You can't really avoid it. You're gonna get hit at some point or another. Which obviously really sucks. Now, if anything, I'm actually going to attempt to breed for a shiny Vulpix in hopes that I can imitate your mascot, but only because I am so happy that I finally feel like I can jump right back into that competitive stuff. And trust me, I'm really good at math because of Pokemon, so I kind of owe those skills to my competitive play, because I had to do a lot of specific breeding and training, otherwise nothing would work. And as of now, here's my Leafeon. The moveset was inspired mostly by other people, but I'm still working on a move to replace Grass Whistle, which I am hoping I will replace it with Grass Blade, which requires training to get to that move, so hopefully I can get there. But the stats are all balanced out as far as I can tell for now, other than its special attack, which I'm not really sure if I want to up it. I've got really good stats for everything else. I'm going to up its special defense a bit more, obviously because fire type moves tend to be special moves, and so do poison. So there's always that. But the ability Leaf Guard would protect me from poison, so suggest in the comments down below, should I change that ability or not? Because I considered one of two possible routes. I can keep Leaf Guard, but forget about the move Solar Beam, or I can replace that ability by going and getting the ability capsule, which I have no problem with all the grinding, and get the ability changed to Chlorophyll, which would help me with the move Solar Beam very easily because it would speed it up in its charging process. Therefore, I wouldn't have to wait. But the downside would be that I don't have any protection to status changes, such as paralysis, poison, burn, freeze, and other things. So there's always that thing to consider. Also, another Pokemon that I'm intending on adding to my team is going to be a Gloom, but it will not be a Gloom anymore. I am still also deciding on whether or not it should go to Vileplume or should it go to a Blossom, because those stats are completely different from one another. One's more towards special and one is definitely more towards physical. I'm thinking of going towards the more special attack side, kind of to balance out the factor that I have a lot of physical attacking Pokemon right now. Still haven't sadly found the right stone to get it to evolve into a Blossom, but fear not, I will find it sooner or later. Heck, if anyone on the internet is willing to trade with me and give me a Sunstone, be my guest, I'm more than willing to accept, and I have quite a few good Pokemon that I'd be willing to give up for it. And of course, if there's a Pokemon you specifically want with specific stats, I can give you one as well, because I am an excellent breeder. Mind you, a lot of my Pokemon either came from breeding or are really good trades. And I'm not a really rude person. Now this Ninetales isn't really the best one, and I'm going to be working on specifically training and breeding for a shiny, so wish me luck in the future. I'm hoping to God that I can find it sometime this year. I know that's ridiculous. I mean, the school's coming back soon, so don't pay attention to that kind of responsibility while I talk more about Pokemon. Now, since I've already revealed the 3 grass types I'm going to use, the other 2 are definitely going to be fire types, but as awkward as it sounds, I actually want to include a Camerupt on my team. Now this is for personal reasons because I personally really enjoy using Camerupt, despite its 4 times weakness to water. And I'll explain why. One of my first games was actually Ruby and Sapphire. My very first was Leaf Green, but I got to play through Ruby when I was a kid. That's the reason I bought Alpha Sapphire now. I really enjoyed Maxie and all of his crew, despite being very bland. And it was something that I really enjoyed about them. I don't know, maybe to the fact that they seemed more serious than Team Aqua. And I personally like more serious villains with upscale plans. It made me really excited when I saw it. Now, for one of the other fire types, which I am going to see if I can find the Camerupt in amongst all this mess, because I do have one. I really need to organize these boxes. I had intentions of using this one, and I'm thinking of maybe changing the ability if necessary. The Quick Claw is to kind of cover up for its lack in speed. You can see its special defense and attack are pretty darn high right now. I do need to bolster its defense though, so there's hope for that one. There is definitely hope in that. And as for the final one, I know it's going to be kind of awkward for me to say it, but this is going to be my final pick for my weather team. And this is kind of a backup to cover up for a lot of other things, because this thing is actually incredibly fast. This Pokemon came from X and Y, but I still love it very dearly. Don't care what size it is. But this one I specifically tried to counter any fast Pokemon, alongside the factor that it also needs to have a new ability, so I could pretty much choose whatever I'd like at this point. as far as I can tell from the right stats on it, the right stats being these lovely numbers here, I'm thinking of actually changing it to suit the move pool that I've given it. So something more towards special attack. Also, by the way, Shadow Sneak and Phantom Force have saved my butt on so many occasions. So don't diss those moves just because they're ghost types and they don't work on normal types. It is a good move on your behalf. And let me explain to you real quick why it's a good move on your behalf. This one is pretty much the essential to dig, but in a ghost type form, because it protects you for one move, which is awesome, so nothing can hit you. And Shadow Sneak is the essential of quick attack, but in ghost type form, as this move will always cause the user to move first. See what I mean by I use them as a speed team? These work really well for what I do. I am a player who likes to hit fast and hit hard. Hence the reason I bolster a lot of my attack and special attack depending more so on the Pokemon's type and what moves I choose to put on it. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to complain at me about it, but most of the time when I do fight others, I tend to pay attention to what their first Pokemon is. Now, this is the reason why. Once that first round of that entire battle is done, you have no idea what's going to come next. And most times, you can really tell how they base the team around the first Pokemon they put in their team, because that's their team leader. Everything else around it is supposed to bolster, especially in double battles. There's always going to be a Pokemon with something like Light Screen or Wide Guard and such. All those defensive moves. Also, I know this is going to sound like a really, really nasty vendetta, but I hate Protect and I hate Pokemon that keep upping their accuracy because it sucks. If none of you have ever experienced this, be glad, because any moves that can up the accuracy of a Pokemon and then they keep using Protect over and over and over and over with the mix of that move in between, it's terrible, because it's like an unending cycle. Protect is supposed to only affect a Pokemon depending on how their accuracy is, and it lowers that chance of accuracy later on. Now, consider the following. If they continue to up their accuracy, what does that mean for you? Well, they certainly can't fail anymore, that's for sure. And it's such a piss off, really. Like, honest to God, 9 out of 10, everyone's gonna use that move. It's so cliche, it's so dumb at this point. If you're gonna battle. If your Pokemon's got high defense stats, you don't need the move Protect. Because 9 out of 10, it's gonna be able to take those hits really well. And like, as I mentioned on my Tumblr before to other people about the fear Rattata thing, 9 out of 10 you're going to encounter something that agitating. And 9 out of 10, as a few other people have mentioned to me here on YouTube, that Rattata is not going to be a Rattata anymore, it's going to be an Aron. And if any of you know Aron well enough, they almost always come with Sturdy. That replaces the Focus Sash in that strategy, and you can replace it with a Shell Bell, which will recover all of the HP that it recently had. And it makes me die a little when I lose to level 1 Arons. I kind of cry over it. It makes me really sad. Also, I want to say a good thank you to Hexic Plays for showing up on my channel and actually taking a look, despite me only having one video at the time. I do apologize for being a really shy baby about it, and it's just me. Also, shoutouts to Hoodlum Scrafty. This little bugger's gonna be on my team someday. I am going to train it and I will use it when I get the chance, and I'm gonna plan out a proper team. So don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about a dang thing. Also, if anyone knows better about teaming, believe it or not, I actually have a Sableye I use in an everyday battle time use. A lot of people are probably gonna be like, "Oh, well, Jules, why do you do that?" More so out of preference, because in the original games, I actually used to have a Sableye named Ruby. I know that sounds cheesy and stupid, but she was one of my favorite Pokemon. I mean it, literally. Oh, I think this is her. No, that's the one I got in the trade. And, trade, what? Also, I do need to ask Silver some questions about the synchronized technique because I still haven't gotten the hang of it. Because I go out and I catch a mass number of Pokemon, all one Pokemon. And I check all their stats, and I check all their natures to make sure they are the right ones I need. Especially if it's something like Ditto. And trust me, it's not easy to keep up with it. Also, I had someone specifically ask me, why are you only including Leafeon in your Sunny Day team and not any other Pokemon revolving around Fire type or the Sun, such as Flareon or Espeon? Well, I don't want to seem kind of cliche about the team, so I only limited myself to one evolution, just to mix it up a bit. Does that mean I hate the other evolutions? No, I love them all very equally. Sylveon is kind of a favorite of mine alongside Umbreon and Espeon and Leafeon. Those are my top 4 evolutions. So, don't worry, Tricky. I still love you. I still love you very much. By the way, kudos to Tricky Weave for going on and doing a bunch of like Pokemon Fusion reviews and such. Some of them are really cool, so if there are any artists in the audience, go check her out in the description below. I will definitely put her link. I will put all the links of the YouTubers I mentioned in this video, like Silver, like Tricky, and Hoodlums Crafty. These people kind of got me back into Pokemon. I mean, I didn't ever really stop playing, I just kind of drifted in and out a bit. And it's not like I hate it, because obviously I am 18 this year. I have been alive for 18 years of Pokemon. Actually. Because my first game was actually purchased, like, when I was born. I know that sounds really weird, but that's true. My dad purchased me my first game and my Game Boy when I was little, and I was very happy. I still have that Game Boy to this day, and it still works. Though I think I'm gonna need a new internal battery for the Game Boy, which kinda sucks. But I'm hoping I can save up for it in the future, just like that microphone and camera, so you don't have to see all this grainy, gross stuff on the screen. I really wish I had higher quality. Oh god. Also, to anyone on the internet, if anyone's willing to help me get a Goodra, please. I'm so annoyed with this. I can't get it to evolve because I keep losing the rain. And it sucks. Oh, and here's Ruby. This is my Sableye that I use for battle. I know it seems weak at first, but notice the moves. This isn't for online battling. This is just for personal battling. I personally love the swag play strategy. It makes me laugh so much because you can wait them out and up that damage even further by using Swagger again. And I love it because it's funny. It's funny because if you don't end up using foul play on them, then they can just kill themselves with confusion. It's like watching a clown punch himself in the face. It's the best. I know that sounds really cruel, but still. I'm still thinking of a few different trades to do because I have a butt ton of starters and a friggin' truckload of Dratinis that I'm willing to give away to others. Now, mind you, sadly, none of these are shiny Dratinis, which I wish they were. is that I could get a heck of a lot more trades. But I'd like to give a quick shout out to someone who helped me. So I'm going to end up catching a Landorus, because I can't catch the Tornadus in my game. Where did I put that? Where did I put it? Where did he go? God dang it. I know I have it in here. Thank you to a certain certain player online named Jacob, who gave me up this lovely Tornadus. Now I'm actually intending on hopefully giving it back to him, because as he put in there on the nickname, he put hard to get. And yes, I understand indeed that was very hard to get. Do you think that Thundurus was easy to get? Oh, sir. That thing was impossible. I swear, it was impossible. I was going to punch the screen. And my brother and I both share a joke of mine. That is the get in the ball joke. Because the one day he was sitting on the floor by my bed, which is right there, and we were both playing Pokemon. He was like doing some like battling and such, you know, grinding for some XP, and I was going out and looking for legendary Pokemon. Well, I found Zekrom on one of the Mirage Islands, and I was like, oh, I have to get this now. And I went to go get it because I had like a whole like truckload of Ultra Balls, so I thought, I'm totally ready for this. And well, I kind of forgot to save before I got into the battle because I was too excited about it. When I went to the battle, I was sitting there after like 10 minutes screaming, "Get in the ball!" at this Zekrom because it would not stay. It was like 1 HP. It was actually asleep. And it would not get in the ball. And I'm still really mad because it knocked itself out with struggle. It took that long. And oh, if anybody here knows who my main are, then you'll know that this was what was equipped at the time to deal with all the electric type moves. Well, he ran out of PP and then fainted. And I got really sad. And I was just, no! Why didn't you get in the ball? I was gonna stuff you full of Pokepops. And to this day, he will not shut up about it. So, I guess that's my little story of the day. But I will report back to all of you when I am battle ready. So until then, this is Jules Max, signing off. Bye bye!